Alright guys, so Wafcon is underway. We've seen our opening night and our day 2. We've seen games from Group A and Group B, both teams, actually 2 games in both groups. So let's recap and talk about what we saw in each game. Let's start off with the opener, Morocco versus Zambia, Copper Queens versus the Atlas Lionesses. And honestly, this game did not disappoint for what you were expecting from it. It ends 2-2, and you know, with these sides are so familiar. These 2 sides also played each other in the final round of CAF Olympic qualifying, with Zambia coming up on top. So these 2 teams are familiar with each other and have been able to get results against each other. So the fact that it ends in a 2-2 draw is not a surprise. But I mean, we look at some of the stats from this game. For reference, I am using AI Score because this is what I have open. We'll see how good and how it looks. It feels about close to what I saw, but let's talk about what we've seen. 69 to 31% possession for Morocco versus Zambia. That is not a surprise. Zambia really have arguably the 2 best forwards, 2 best attacking forwards from Africa, in Barbara Banda and Rachel Kundananji and Barbara Banda. And so for them to be a countering team is also going to be probably what you're going to expect from them. Defend, get the ball up, either Barbara as a hold-up or Rachel as a hold-up, sending the other forward on and trying to create. I'd be surprised if a forward not named Rachel or Barbara scores, but we'll see that. Game starts off amazing. First minute of the game, Barbara Banda puts a shot in, and to be perfectly honest, I think Moroccan keeper should have had that. Maybe she misjudges it, maybe it takes a hop before, but it looked like she could routinely stop it, though it was a fast shot. She misjudges it, it goes past her, it's 1-0. We get to the 12th minute where a foul is called inside the box, probably around the 10th minute, but the game is stopped. It goes to VAR, it's given a penalty. Ibitsam Jradi, if I say your name wrong, I do apologize, scores, it's 1-1, so that game stays there. Then we reach the 27th minute, another situation, a long goal sent in. Barbara Banda is able to chest it down, sends in Rachel Kundananji, and she puts it away. 27 minutes and it's 2-1 already, and we are just kind of flowing through this game. It stays that way. Second half, you see more of Morocco holding the possession, trying to create opportunities, but then you get to Morocco putting chances up, but Zambia trying to put the game away, but also unable to do so. And then that goes to the point where then we reach the 87th minute where Gislan Shabak puts it away. A great looping shot from the top of the crease. It's 2-2. The game ends there. They share the spoils. And honestly, I mean, it was, as much as it was possession dominated, it was an even game, right? Though possession is 69-31. It's 8 shots versus 11 for Morocco versus Zambia. 5 shots off target for each, but then 3 shots on target for Morocco and 6 shots on target for Zambia. If you're Zambia, you're looking at this game and saying, we should have come away with the 3. If you're Morocco, you're saying you held and you continue to push through, and ultimately you got the result, which I think is good for them. I mean, the total passes 453 to 199. That tells a story of possession. I'm curious to see what Zambia is able to do for a couple reasons. For one, you know the attacking prowess is going to be there, but also, can they look better defensively? I mean, everyone will always point, and I do as well, to their game versus Australia at the Olympics, where they let a game go that they should have had in their control. And if you look at even something as simple as looking at their lineup, Blessings Maluba, for example, is an 18-year-old center back starting. And I was like, why have I seen this name before? That's right, she was starting for Zambia when they made the U17 FIFA World Cup, so they're bringing in some young players to help and shore up that back line. If they're able to do so, they might be a much more dangerous side in this competition. Just because defense is always going to be the question you have for the Copper Queens. Zambia is always going to be defense. If they can, they don't need to be a lock. They don't need to be Italy, men's Italy here. But if they can be a deterrent, if they can create more havoc in the midfield, if they can turn the ball over and get the ball up to their forwards, I think once you're able to do that, it opens up the possibility. But the defense to me is really going to be the key for what we're watching, for what they're able to do. If they're able to look good with their defense, I think they open the door for possibly a semifinal run, even the finals. They made a semi, but then weren't able to pass through. But I think if you give them that improved defense, you'll go there. When it comes to Morocco, I mean, they're always going to be a team that's looking for possession. It's just going to be getting shots on frame. I mean, it's going to sound familiar, but can you get the goals when you need? Ultimately, that is what's going to come down with it, because if they aren't able to, all that possession will be great. But if not for Giselin's goal, you're looking at a 2-1 loss in this game. So curious to see how that. You go to the next game in Group A. Senegal with a resounding 4-0 win over DR Congo. 2 goals apiece from Njai and Diop. And this game was done at halftime. It's 4-0 at halftime. And this was just mistakes, bad coverages, and moving forward from there. I mean, a little bit closer within the possession arrows if you're looking at it. 53% possession versus 47. But I mean, the shots tell the story. 17 total shots. 8 on target versus 4 for Senegal versus DR Congo. And I think if you're Senegal, you're trying to get to the next round, this 3 points matters so much. I think DR Congo, if you're trying to get a win, you're hoping that possibly you can get through Senegal. But Senegal showing their class here. And again, what will be interesting to me, as we always talk about, is what comes next for them, right? The next matchups for Zambia is Senegal, and then Morocco gets DR Congo. So Morocco, hopefully looking based off how the game looked, maybe they can get back on their feet here with a good win. But the Zambia versus Senegal matchup, you know the counter is going to be there. But you also know defending may not be as solid as this. So it's something we're going to be watching to see who's able to really take advantage and push forward and get through this. So as Group A stands, you have Senegal on top of Group A with 3 points, but a 4-goal differential. And then Morocco and Zambia with 1 goal apiece, still sitting at 0 with the goal differential. And then DR Congo sitting in last place with a -4 goal differential with their loss. When we get to Group B, Nigeria versus Tunisia. This game was very much controlled effectively by Nigeria. This was a classic Nigeria game to me, where it should have been probably 5 or 6-0. Some Nigerians say it was a sweet, sweet game. You know, it was sweet. My one concern with Nigeria is always going to be, hey, you can have the possession. The same conversations we have with Morocco. You can have the possession. Can you put it away when you need to get those goals? And yes, Tunisia defended well. They didn't have too much going offensively. They had a few breaks, one shot off the crossbar, and then a few long shots because they weren't going to get crosses in. So it was long volleying shots that they could try to put on. But at the end of the day, it was Nigeria's game, dominated 66 versus 34 possession. I mean, no real surprise in how this game went on. 9 shots on target versus 0. I mean, saves and misses. It's a 15 off target. If you are going to dominate 24 shots to 6, you would hope that goal scoring goes up a little bit more, get a little bit of confidence around the squad. But I mean, Nigeria walks into this and walks out feeling good. 3-0. They don't get the 3rd goal until later in the game. But your goal scorers are Oshola in the 4th minute, and then Babajide in the 45th plus 1 minute, and then finally the final goal came in the 84th minute with Chiwendu Ihezuo. If I said that wrong, again, I apologize. So Nigeria sitting well within their group in terms of what's going on. And then the last game of Algeria gets a win over Botswana 1-0. Watching this game was an odd game for me. Not that one team was better. I think just watching Botswana, they had moments in their build-up and attack. They just couldn't put it together. It was either the right ball, but no one made the run, or everyone's making the run and it's the wrong ball, or they try to get it in. They had one opportunity to really get the ball. They had like one solid goal opportunity, big chances we call it, but nothing really came of it because they just kind of bundled it. When it comes to Algeria, same conversation with the other teams in the other group. Good build-up. They get the 1 goal in the 10th minute and put the game away from Kouchouani in the 10th minute. And again, if I apologize for the name wrong. And Algeria looked comfortable. but you were always looking for that second goal. When you're in a 1-0 game, you're waiting for that. Either a moment of brilliance comes for your opponents and it's tied, or you're waiting for your team who's put the game away, and Algeria weren't able to do that. And then I think that will be interesting to watch as they start getting ready. They play Tunisia next on the 10th, and then Nigeria have Botswana on the 10th as well. And so it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do. How the schedule for Wafcon works is there's games, and then there's a day off on the 8th, and then there's games, and then there's no break up until the end of the group stage. So there's a break on the 8th, and then the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, they play until everything's done. And then on the 13th and 14th, it's games all at the same time to talk about who is there, who is going well. So I think it'll be interesting to see, but so far in Group B, you have Nigeria topping the group with a 3-goal difference, and then Algeria with a 1-goal plus difference on a differential. And then you have Botswana in 3rd, and then Tunisia in 4th. Tomorrow we have Group C getting underway. Ghana will be playing South Africa, and then Tanzania will be playing Mali. And I think that Mali-Tanzania game will be fascinating. Ghana versus South Africa, I think we expect South Africa to get the result, but hey, maybe this is where we get our first upset. We'll have to wait and see. But we're very much curious to see. If you guys are watching Wafcon right here, who has stood out to you? Who's looking good? Have the favorites look good? Are some of the teams who maybe didn't get results looking dangerous enough to have a nice run here? You let us know in the comments below. We're going to try to do one of these after every match day and have a couple lives leading through as well. So let us know, and as always, we'll stop talking right here.